Welcome back, everyone, as we're getting ready for Game 3 of the Grand Finals for the 2021 League of Legends College Championships. What a series, Raz. Winthrop are up 2-0 over the reigning champs in Maryville University. I'm not going to lie, I didn't hear many people on the analyst desk walking back on their the predictions there. It's looking pretty rough for those Maryville predictions.
A lot of predictions are going down the drain, while a lot of Winthrop Eagle fans out there are sky high. After games like these, you have to be, because Winthrop are not only getting advantages, they are keeping those leads. And even in the last game, when the game was kind of falling behind a little bit, huge play, huge moments from Doxa and Hybrids to bring it back together. So we're in match point. Maryville needs to hold the door.
This is it. Maryville on the blue side, we are seeing some switch rounds there, but the bans are pretty much the same. They don't want to first pick Gwen. They're on blue side, but they're opting to ban that away. Important to note there, whereas Winthrop, pretty much the same plan, right? They're taking away the Gangplank, taking away that Senna, presumably the Lee Sin. That's what their first three were in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, I wonder what this means for us. I mean, Varus has been a priority for Maryville when they're on blue side, so it might just be another Varus first pick. It's safe. You can also counter pick support in this situation because Winthrop is probably going to 1-2 it. So let's just see what it goes into. 10 seconds left for Maryville.
There's a lot of top priorities because also there's a lot of big junglers on the table, right? You could go for the Udyr. They do actually lock in that Udyr pick instead. This leaves up that Varus for Winthrop if they want it, but hey, at least they get auto orange on that priority jungler.
A lot of the times you wouldn't want to pick your jungler here that early because every jungler is on the table, including Morgana. But this instance, they want to be able to play through this early game advantage that auto orange can create for them. So let's look out for the 2v2s that Maryville can get. Chippies and auto orange, Spyrax and auto orange. This is the type of things I want to hear.
We see the Varus is locked in for Winthrop. They also grabbed that Rumble, so not the Morgana pick, but still very fast clearing AP jungler. Maryville instantly locking in, not the Kai'Sa Nautilus, but instead the Kai'Sa Leona. They're actually opting for this duo.
Yeah, just because, Nautilus wants to hook in. If you're hooking into a Leona, you better have members behind you because they can just straight up burst the Nautilus down. So these are the type of things I'm interested in. That being said, Maryville picking the Kai'Sa into the Varus, usually that's, hasn't been the case, but these are just playmakers. And, having EverRL have the power to dive into the back line and get a pick on towards Frost Forest's Rumble, it's a good option. See what they pair that up with as the 4-5 goes on.
It's definitely comfort for Evan RL. He's played the Kai'Sa. This is the third game now. This is the third time we've actually seen this bot lane matchup. And in that game too, heavily favored in Maryville. So I think they're probably realizing, look, if we just get a better top lane matchup, try and hold that, don't have that TP play, don't have that 4-man shockwave and 4-man knockup, they probably had that game. So honestly, they're looking at that last draft, not feeling too bad about how it went in that phase. But let's catch up on the rest of the bans here. Aatrox taken off the table. They do not want Hybrids to get that twice in a row. And with them giving respect with that Yone ban and then a Vladimir as well.
Here's the thing, because you might see another top lane ban from Maryville, maybe a Gnar, because it is a safe pick there for Hybrids. Sure. But Lucian, Lucian is what I was expecting from Winthrop because you have an AP jungler and it's also just Doxa's best pick in my mind. Let's see what we end up seeing here. Winthrop can just go towards a Gnar and then last pick for Doxa.
A last pick, counter pick for Doxa would be huge. And I think that's the clear strategy, right? They lock in the Scion, easy weak side top laner. This really opens up carry potential for others on the team.
Yeah, so Hybrids had this Scion in game 1 when he was the only play for Maryville. When the game was just getting worse and worse, he played insanely safe and they really couldn't take him down. So it's going to be Chippies looking to pick an answer into him, but it's looking like a really strong team fight composition from Winthrop.
Yeah, the Gnar, I guess, is the counter to the Scion top lane. It can't do much to really kill pressure the Scion, right? I mean, last time in game 1, they opted for that Camille, but they weren't confident to pull that out again here. Let's see what their blind pick mid lane is, because they got to throw something into Doxa, and there are still big picks on the table. Orianna's available. The Victor, which has been banned throughout, is available, so they do go with that Victor.
I'm surprised it's the Victor and not the Orianna because there's a lot of dive from Maryville. You have Gnar, who's going to be the one that starts these fights. Kai'Sa, that's going to be there to follow up. An Orianna ball would be really helpful. Whereas Victor doesn't really want to do that. He's really sitting still and wanting the enemy team to come into him. So let's see what the pick is for Doxa.
I'm looking at Syndra still on the table right now. This is a Doxa special. I don't think it's going to be that Zed. It's the Silas. Locked in to Victor. Doxa, we've seen some disgusting performances from this player on this champion. And in Game 3 match point of the Grand Finals, are you kidding me?
Yeah, pick of the litter there now. He has the Leona ulti, the Gnar ulti. He's going to be an added playmaker to Winthrop, and he's going to try and put a nail on the coffin of Maryville. But once again, Maryville, they're not out yet. They can make the run. You have to give them that respect. They have insane players, so that's where I look towards Odd Orange and Chippies to be those members. Honestly, I say that because of the champions in Udyr and Gnar being playmakers on that one, at least in the early portions of it, if they're empowering them through the draft. But it's been Evan RL in the bot lane that's been doing it for him. Evan RL and Shady have been constant performance, so maybe we should be looking to them instead.
I absolutely think that Maryville should double down on that. The only, counter to that would say, well, Evan RL got really fed in that last game and was not able to carry. But again, there were just those two key moments, the teleport play top and then that shockwave that really turned things around for the side of Winthrop University. But here we go. Everybody in Twitch chat, let me know who you're rooting for, because Winthrop University want to close this one out in a swift 3-0 to crown themselves the new kings of collegiate. Maryville University will have to win 3 in a row to keep their crown. Loaded onto Summoner's Rift here, Raz. Everything on the table right now.
Silent level ones. It's always interesting to see when you're in potentially the final game. Not if Maryville has to say, have anything to say about it, but it doesn't seem like there's any invades on this one. It's just going to be a full fan from both teams. And so you take a step back. If you're Maryville, you're right. I agree with you. Evan RL and Shady have been the answers for this team. You look towards them, and maybe they can win the game if they can get those advantages and are aware of, let's say, key engages in the enemy team. Last game, Orianna hit them hard.
Absolutely.
Don't want that to happen this game.
I mean, you look at that Orianna shockwave, but you already highlighted there's a Gnar ultimate that Doxa can steal. There's a Leona ultimate Doxa can steal. And also, Doxa just has a much more comfortable matchup here against the Victor, right? This is the counter pick that he loves to play. We've seen this multiple times throughout Collegiate where he will opt for the Silas into that Victor, because also Victor ultimate's fantastic. So, man, we got to keep our eyes on that mid lane matchup for sure. But here we go. Early ward dropped down from Winthrop University. They spotted out that the Evan RL and Shady ward not leashing for Odd Orange, and they'll also know that Chippies wasn't leashing either, so both junglers should have decent information on each other's stats.
It's just going to be a full clear from both sides to the same position. Oh, here we go, though.
We see this every game, Raz. They are just... Every level 1, Sir Kenji and Saskia are like, no, we win these. We absolutely win these. Go for it.
You know what's interesting is that this one has probably a little bit more meaning. This is the reason why we're looking bot lane. If both junglers are full clearing to path towards bot scuttle, what's going to happen here is ultra important. A missed Nautilus hook, if that hit, that's just lights out, at least from the Scuttlecraft perspective. Odd Orange would just be he would be looking for top lane Scuttlebutt. We're in a good spot.
Really cool, because they also got that XP from taking that one ward. So they actually got level 2 off of a ranged minion, which is something you don't have to see. Usually it's the triple melee that will hit you level 2. So yeah, if that hook had landed, that would have been a kill, but doesn't go over. Doxa, meanwhile, actually taking some decent poke here in the early stages of laning phase.
Yeah, that's going to be the case early. Sustain and also just the range that the Victor will have will do that for you. It's just going to be when your lane is in this position, like it is for Spyrax, that you have a great gank potential there. Even though Rumble is not really known for it, the Silas can really force it. So just have to be aware of that, but Spyrax is going to be able to help really early on with Scuttlecraft contest.
We'll have the early shove right there. Also, bot lane having a shove, and we do see Odd Orange on the bottom half of the map. So is Frost Forest. So if both junglers go for this scuttle, it's heavily in the favor of Maryville University right now. Yeah, there's really no way that Frost Forest can actually contest this.
There it is.
So I like this pathing. Actually going for the Wolves first, but presumably we'll head to the top.
A bit concerning is knowing that Gnar has this much prio top lane. And also Doxa has to base here. Frost Forest might not be able to actually fight for top scuttle. He might get double. It's an easy double scuttle.
Yeah,
I think it's
just
actually
right
really
there.
difficult. Yeah. There we have it.
Great early jungle pathing from Odd Orange right now, and also lane priority. Laura mentioned this in the analyst segment that it's all about the laners, but here we go. Forced engage onto Frost Forest. The Rumble's taking a lot of damage. Doxa's joined in. Who gets first blood? It's Odd Orange, but now can they trade it around? Doxa does get one in return, but Odd Orange still pretty healthy. Flash away by Doxa. Now Hybrids is kind of stuck here as the Silas. Doxa goes back in. Are you kidding me? Little hyphy right there. Solo laners both go down for Winthrop. Maryville went out on the trade.
That was a good eye from Shady to come in early. He knew that this fight was going to happen, came in to help with the contest, and they straight up look for a fight on towards Frost Forest, and that is going to also be double scuttle. 2 kills over to Odd Orange.
Again, a little hyphy from Doxa right there. He got out with the flash. You have to stay out at that point, but well done by Maryville seeing this opportunity.
Sometimes you just got to know when to fold them. And this was a situation where Frost Forest did not want to lose that top scuttle, thought they could fight for it. And so both supports came in. Shady was the one that was faster. So when you're already in a bad spot and you still had a numbers disadvantage, it's the hardest loss you can face. Also, I think lost Raptors too there. So huge experience advantage to Odd Orange.
Also gets 2 kills off of that. Oh, yeah, that's going to be ballooning this early game lead over to the side of Maryville. And when you're down 2-0 in a series in the grand finals, you're looking for a performance like this, right? This is an angry Maryville saying, all right, no more handshaking, playing cross map. We are going to get up in the face of Frost Forest with this Udyr pick. The first pick on the blue side paying off dividends to Odd Orange right now, looking very comfortable. He will spot out Frost Forest taking his Raptors, but I don't think that he'll really get onto him. Yeah, Frost Force should get out here. As long as he doesn't get caught by the bot lane. Shady and Evan RL are roaming here. Shady has flash. They're just going to commit for... Oh, no! Zenith Blade barely missing.
Rough. That would have been a kill. No flash on Frost Forest. Absolutely it would have been. But at the end, the intent was there. Frost Forest was in an illegal position, was going to die. It's been Maryville that's been tasting blood and have wanted to find these kills.
And they're looking for more. They're also invading here onto the bottom half of the map. Frost Forest, he's got that control ward down, but that'll get cleared out. I don't even think you can take your Grump right now. His bot lanes are roaming up. They don't have a teleport to answer, and Chippy's does. So I feel like maybe you give this over. There we go. Engage back in under Frost Forest. He is trying to return the damage. Flash over by Evan RL. They're just focusing down the Rumble. Frost Forest can't jungle this game. Sir Kenji will fall as well. He flashes away, but still a double kill to Evan RL. Maryville showing up huge in this early game. Play after play, kill after kill.
It is a snowball, and it's just going down that mountain. Yeah, you can't take your Grump. Not only added by the added strength of being stronger in a 3v3, Victor is coming too. It is once again another numbers disadvantage. It is now an insanely desperate position if you are Frost Forest.
And the big difference between game number 2 and this one, Raz, is that we don't see the cross-map plays from Winthrop on the top half, right? Like, that was the big thing. But right as I say that, we do see 3 members top lane. Chippy's in a lot of trouble. He goes Mega, doesn't have Flash, will fall to Frost Forest. So, okay, Winthrop, they got something down.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the setup of that one coming out of the replay. You know, both sides of Maryville University were just coming out of base. So, it's a nice pickoff. You know, being able to take Chippies, especially with Frost Forest being a part of that. But here we are again, guys.
Again, level 5. Yeah, it's... that just feels bad for Frost Forest. He can't be in the jungle. Look at Shady. Look at Spyrex's control of the mid wave. Like, you know that you can't be there when your mid laner just backed, but he thought maybe he could steal that away as a level 5 Rumble. His options are so small now.
This is a bit of a tilter, guys. When you're in games like these, you have to know what your strong point is if you want to find success. And in this game, a little bit of Doxa and a little bit of Varus and Saskio. This was the setup here. They just straight up ulted Chippies, and they didn't have vision of the river. So yeah, Chippies was just trying to get this one pushed in when the rest of his team was back at base. This was just a bad timing for Chippies, but in the end, I don't think it'll amount to much. It's just an added kill to Frost Forest.
I mean, it helps Frost Forest, right, who's still level 5 as the Rumble, down a full level over Odd Orange, might get double leveled as well. When in games 1 and 2, we saw Frost Forest constantly being the better of that one, but
Yeah.
both on the Udyr pick, I think that we're seeing the difference now, the priority that Udyr has for both of these teams. Both these junglers really liking this one, and Odd Orange just able to control the map so much more in the early stages, get so many more kills for the team, and netting a 3,000 gold lead here.
It's just one of those games where you need prio on some point of the map. And bot lane was a good pushback of a wave. And this was talking about double scuttle when it happened. Spyrax is naturally in the matchup going to have push there. Chippy's the very same. It's just a rough going for your jungler. Oh, no!
The Ignite! It does it! Odd Orange flashes just in case. But still, Ignite from Shady will pick up another kill onto Sir Kenji. Raz, it's just looking like a nightmare scenario for Winthrop. They were so confident. They were up 2-0 in the series. Now Maryville is back online.
And they're basing at the perfect time to try and stop this Rift Herald. Let's see if they can get here for it. Because if Rift Herald is picked up from Frost Forest, then I think this is a great trade. But they're darting straight towards the position. Nars also coming over. Let's see if they can at least get a trade off. Yeah.
Shady, no flash, no ignite, so it's just going to be a bare Leona, and Sir Kenji has also joined in here, does have ignite available, so slight Summoner Spell advantage over to the side of Winthrop. They will claim that Rift Herald.
All right, at least they got that going for themselves. So overall, a nice trade from Winthrop, but Maryville, they're unstoppable. Next Dragon's going to be coming up in 1:50, and that's almost certainly going to be going over to Maryville. Winthrop has to use that timer in which Dragon is being picked up to place that Rift Trail topside, because you don't really have a pick of the litter or where you can place it.
You want to get that gold into the pocket of your carries, I'd have to presume, right? I mean, you're saying top lane could be the focus, but you ideally would want that gold onto Doxa, maybe onto Saskio instead. Try and get some more gold funneled into these solo carries, but the difficulty of that decision, is that there's always that counterplay from Maryville, and they're so willing to play through those lanes right now. 2-0 on Spyrax, getting towards that mythic item, and now we see Maryville going into this river. Still a minute till Dragon's up, but they're already beginning to control the areas. Doxa's taking a really rough trade against Spyrax right here, getting chunked out.
Yeah, it's another way. It's a nice way to keep topped up in lane. I remember seeing this pretty consistently from DoNB back in the day, but it makes it so Doxa's low. And sure, you have the sustain, but to be able to get that sustain, you have to heavy trade. And guess who's next to you in lane? That's Leona. Maryville playing well around Spyrax at this point in the game.
And Doxa's just been taking constant poke from Spyrax, who will now back. I'm not sure how much gold he has, if this will be a completed mythic item, the first of the game, or just going to get him some more components for this upcoming dragon fight. If Winthrop even want to contest this, right? I mean, it is only second dragon. They don't have to, but no, it's just Merc Treads picked up by Spyrax right there. Still going to give him a lot of stats for that fight. TP on top side, not going to amount for much here unless they can force the engage. Chippy flashes, beautifully avoiding hybrids right there. He might just turn it back, trying to get the kill. Doxa, though, he is here on the flank. There's the flash forward, ultimate into the Nard. Chippies goes down for the third time. This is the only play Winthrop can find, but they are finding it.
That makes it easy for Chippies to look back and be like, yeah, this is literally the only window they can get. Our entire team is trying to get vision around Dragon. I just have to play back. And worst case scenario, if I'm just feeling bored, can't really do much topside, just go mid lane to secure the play and not have to have I mean, he doesn't have TP, but another situation to not have to rely on that. But either way, a free pickup on Dragon for Maryville, and a nice play from Doxa to go top lane with hybrids and get the kill.
The issue that I have is it's diminishing returns, right? The more you kill Chippies, the less gold he's worth. Yeah, you're trying to put the Gnar behind, but he's still up in CS against the Scion, who won't take full advantage of Gnar going down in that lane. So ultimately, you're just trying to get gold onto Doxa, who doesn't even have a Dark Seal that he's stacking up right now. So pressure onto the mid laner. We've seen Doxa carry before, but can he do it right now? The team is down 3K, even if he is having a good lane for himself. Saskio has to flash away there from Shady. Oh, this is looking really dire on the bottom half now. He could get dove.
Great flash, though. I don't think he can. You're seeing both Frost Forest and Sir Kenji come towards bot lane. I will make a note that Frost Forest is still holding on to a Rift Herald, so I don't think he's going to be able to use it. The only opportunity would be top lane. He's going to get picked off, actually.
Yeah, he's just going to go down. Gets the equalizer, but Shady and Odd Orange roaming together, getting out of lane, catching Frost Force, and now that timer might just expire while he's dead.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this goes back to the plan that I was talking about. On Dragon, I was thinking he would go top lane. Even post-Dragon, once that was taken down, I would expect him to do that because that's really the only option you have. They're just going to have full control of bot river, full control of mid, so even if you were to place a Rift Herald bot lane, they'll just kill it before it actually
He's up in
reaches
2
the
seconds.
turret.
He can get it. If he presses it right now, he can get it down.
Throw it down!
Drop it now. Frost Force, you still have the Rift Herald. Frost Force, is he... He's got to realize, right? Okay, there we go. I think he used it.
He's got it. We're good. We're good.
Okay. He
Yeah,
just wanted to get as far out as possible. I thought... I was panicking right there.
So it's going to make a bit of a Terry Fox run towards the top lane. I'm fine with that. The only thing, of course, is you're going to have an opportunity to try and pick it off as the wave is coming in. But I think he's able to push it into the turret.
Absolutely, but there's no turret plates because it is past 14 minutes, so it won't take the full turret. It's just going to chunk it out here, but at least they do get the use, right? That is something here for the side of Winthrop University. They're on the back foot, Raz. They were up in the series, but now in Game 3, they are struggling here. So, again, I mean, what are avenues for them to try and get back into this? Because Maryville are not giving them a lot of room to think or breathe.
Ooh.
Play on the bot side. Right as I say it, Evan RL walks into a bush blind and a shutdown to Saskio. That's a hell of a way to start the comeback. Now, teleport coming in, though. Saskio could be in trouble. Uses the heal. Locked down by Leona. Chain CC. He can't go anywhere. Saskio blown up. But now they try and turn back onto Sir Kenji. Teleport was used by Hybrids. Doxa jumps in, steals the Udyr ultimate. I don't know if that was a misclick, if you're trying to go for Shady or Chippies instead, but now he's going to fall. Doxa in a 1v4 situation, but not quite fed enough to actually clutch that one out. And Winthrop University looking out of sorts right now. Maryville are corralling them with this wave pushing bot side. Do they want to dive a Scion? I don't think so. They will back off.
Hey, man, the question you were asking is even more legitimate now. They found a play on towards Evan RL, but the exit strategy, there wasn't one, including with the TP coming through from the Scion. Saskio's the target is an easy one. They're able to pop him. And you're right, a little bit questionable from Doxa. Let's just see who is nearby, who he could have been picking the ultimate from.
I think he was trying to click Chippies, probably, maybe
yeah,
Shady.
I think Chippies. It was right next to the character model. Either way, he dies for it, dashing in towards 4 members. But rough going at things. And to answer your question, it's playmaking. You know, there's a reason why he was trying to aim for the Chippies ultimate. Because to get back into this game, they just need that one positive team fight that can result in, you know, 4 minutes from now, let's say, a Baron, right? It's just that one playmaker that's going to do it for you. We saw it in the previous game, and they need that for this one as well.
They may try to make the play here at the Rift Herald. They send Hybrids immediately down from Fountain to this play, but Chippies has joined in as well, so this would be a straight-up 5v5. The gold 3.5K in the favor of Maryville University. Multiple mythics completed, and no mythic yet on Frost Force, so you would have to favor Maryville in this fight just based on the item advantage that they have, but maybe Winthrop can find something. They might just back up.
Oh no, the positioning is also pretty bad from Winthrop. They have to win this fight or they lose the Dragon as well.
Flank from Hybrids, flank from Doxa. It's going to be a split fight. Everyone from Maryville are grouped up onto the Equalizer. This is a good start here for Winthrop. They're taking down the jungler. Odd Orange gets bursted down. Evan RL jumps onto the backline. A huge ult from Chippies. Maryville doing what they can to win this fight. Lockdown onto Saskio. 80 carries are traded, but Winthrop have more members left grouped up. Chippies all alone. He's going to try and jump over this wall if he can, and he does get out, so he's buying a little more time. Dox commits the flash. He wants this kill guaranteed. Does not want to give it over to Chippies. Flash the TSM emo. Maybe a little early. Maybe a little early, Doxa. Don't know if you earned that one quite. Come on, man. He's right there. All right, Doxa finally picking up the kill. Winthrop at least turned that play around.
And doing it stylishly, too, and that's going to be Winthrop actually in a position to pick up Drake. We'll see after the replay. But yeah, great Rumble ulti on 3 members. And EverRL wants to come in and help out Odd Orange, sees an opportunity, but he goes straight into 3 members. And even though Chippy's ultimate is quite nice, still Saskio is going to be able to help out in killing EvanRL. So a great team fight win for Winthrop. And the disrespect from Dux as he chases him over the wall. He even uses flash on this one. He ain't letting you go. Not only was the TSM emote my favorite, it was this as well.
Yeah.
Faces in front of him. Faces in front. Yeah, I got you.
I mean, but that was after missing 2 skill shots, mind you. So I don't know how much we can say that was a disrespect, as much of a maybe a BM right there. You got to earn it, Doxa. You got to earn the plays like that. But either way, he does still pick up a kill. 4 and 2 on the Silas right now. And this is a momentum swing here for Winthrop, Raz. We were asking, how did they come back? You said playmaking. They kind of just forced that play, but it still did go in their favor.
Yeah, and they got the Dragon off that. I think Winthrop, their way back into the game is exactly that. I thought it was going to be a rough team fight for Maryville. I didn't really see Spyrax positioning. He wasn't really in camera view for me. But if that's just free damage going on to Odd Orange, just being picked down by Sirkenji, then yeah, you're going to lose that fight every time. He's your front line. So I don't expect to see a mistake like that again. But Winthrop is clawing right back in. It's just a 2K gold lead for Maryville. So it seems like anything's on the table.
Scary thing, though, is Spyrax, right? This mid laner coming in, substitute for the team, looked fantastic in the round of 8, fantastic in the semifinals. 4-0-1 on the victor. If there's ever a game to show that there is no such thing as Doxa Diff, it is this game. Spyrax, he wasn't really that visible in that last fight, but if he finds that fight where the victor can pop off, there's just so little chance that Winthrop can survive. He will melt through Saskio, Doxa, Frost Forest. So eyes on Spyrax. How does this mid laner really want to play this one out? How do you position in these team fights? He's looking to group up with the team.
Yeah.
Shady slashing over the wall, but there's really nothing to force to fight for.
He does make it incredibly difficult for Sirkenji and Hybrids to play out a fight if it is a natural front-to-back setting for Maryville. Not only you place down your W so that kind of field makes it easier for you to kite. Oh no, Odd Orange.
Odd Orange. Separated from the team, has to flash.
Yeah, didn't have eyes on Frost Forest, so he thought he could just go straight towards the Scuttle Crab. This is Winthrop territory. So just a little bit of a shortcut that he was trying to take, but now he's going to lose that. He's going to lose his blue buff. This is looking good for Winthrop.
They have full control over the Baron half of the map. It's still only 20 minutes, 30 seconds in, so probably unlikely that we'll see this taken anytime soon, but still, you like to see this kind of vision control. We see all these red wards dropped down. Shady's doing what he can to clear these out, but if they can track Odd Orange, he's been the playmaking for Maryville in this game, right? The early stages, it was all the Udyr where he was going. So if Winthrop can just keep their eyes on him, either make a counterplay or just avoid his plays, it's a great way for Winthrop to try and bounce back here.
So let me give you a picture of what this team fight, would look like. And this is what's going to be difficult for
the predictive play-by-play, Raz. Give it to me.
Well, it's the thing is, Chippy's wants to play these team fights off with the Mega Gnar ulti, right? But then oftentimes you have to ask who's going to follow up. Odd Orange can be there. Shady can follow up with an ultimate, and Evan RL. Evan RL has been going in and oftentimes hadn't had them really much of a dive buddy to do it with him. He's been dying pretty consistently at that. And it's because Spyrax wants to play in or at least the victor wants to play in a completely different way. So if it was an Orianna, I can see it working really well. But a Victor really can't help you and support that. So it seems like they, in my opinion, have to play on a front-to-back way. But too often are they diving in, and Evan RL is dying pretty early in these fights.
But if they do find that front-to-back, again, this build coming in from Spyrax at Leandri's will do some big DPS, percentage-based help to the likes of Hybrids, to the likes of Sirkenji. So it's like, can Maryville find the fight or not? That's kind of what I'm thinking here, because so far Winthrop have done a good job of avoiding the fights until they're ready for it. But right as I say that, Doxa flashes away preemptively on the top half, uses that Everfrost, hits both members of Maryville, and will get out safely.
Oh, here we go, another fight.
Engage on the mid side. They don't have numbers, though. 4 from Winthrop are here. Shady has to flash. Heal out of Heaven RL as well. That was pretty close. Oh, they actually stopped the back with the piercing arrow. Saskio doing what he can right there. Now that's going to be Shady backing. Dragon's up at 36. This should be priority around the river for Winthrop.
Yeah, and it seems like TP is going to be up soon for Doxa, so he's kind of debating whether he should go top. I think he should just be with his team. Full 5 men up towards this objective, and that's going to be a second Mountain Dragon possibly for Winthrop, so Maryville don't want to give that over. Remember, that's a double front line with a Scion. Don't want to give those mountains over them.
Sion will be pretty much impossible to kill if they're able to get towards that soul. But now, Frost Force, they have to position very carefully. They gave up the choke point. Winthrop actually had the inside track. Chippies goes for the hero play, the engage. Evan Arel jumps in. Actually, no, it is Shady that jumps in, but Evan Arel now getting that double kill onto Saskio. There's no more AD carry. It's just going to be Doxa. Can he actually output the damage? They do take down Evan Arel. So trade around, but Spyrax still untouched. Spyrax still doing damage. Spyrax will not go down. Doxa tries to take him out. Frost Force flashing forward as well, but look at the damage. Spyrax on the Victor is just shredding through Winthrop University. Maryville find their fight.
And Odd Orange survives that with a sliver 8 HP, is able to heal that back up, but clutch plays. Evan RL might have died, but he was a huge key factor of that team fight, assassinating Saskio at the very beginning. Really well done. I want to see the replay of that one. That's going to give the third dragon over to Maryville.
And it was Winthrop that had the inside track originally. Then they just give up this choke point. Let's take another look at that engage, though.
Chippies does not care. 3-man ultimate. That was humongous. And they're able to get almost gets the kill on the Saskio, but as I said, Evan RL assassinates him on the back half of that and does it in a very safe position as well. Frost Force wants to find a way to join the fight, only finds this moment in doing so. But take a look at Odd Orange. Just drives straight on towards the Doscus, waits it out, and when he gets the killing blow, is just that a sliver of HP to get out of there.
Yeah. And that was, again, Winthrop, they were in that mid-river brush, and then they all just back off. They allow Maryville to walk in instead, giving up all that priority that they built for themselves with that chunk on the Shady, and that means that Maryville had a much better setup for that. Well done from Maryville University to not let this game get out of control, right? They still have this crazy team fight that we were highlighting. Now Spyrax 7-0 on the Victor, even bigger.
Yeah, with that triple kill on the back half of that team fight, he's unstoppable, and now has some magic penetration to call for it. Winthrop University needs to find a way to dive onto him, because at this point in game, he seems unstoppable.
It's a 5K gold lead over to Maryville. It's looking like the momentum of the series is swinging back here, Raz. They had a great early game. It was looking slightly dicey as Winthrop were finding a couple plays into their way, making those cross-map rotations, but now Maryville back in a solid driver's seat here. They're clearing out their jungle. Baron is the next big objective, and you see all this vision control from Maryville on that. Doesn't look like they're actually hard committing to this top half of the map. They are allowing Winthrop to walk in here. This might be another mistake. I think that if you have that, you can hold that. There's really nothing else for you to be going for instead, but Winthrop walk in, I guess it's more just to make sure that it's not being taken.
Hey, you know, they got mid lane control here. That's actually much better. That just means that Winthrop have to concede topside vision here. Both of them. You know, jungle and support are basing now. And I want to see what is going to be the play here from Maryville University. Because Maryville, 2 minutes until they get Soul. Mountain Soul, too. Baron is always an option, but like I said in the previous game, you can always just hold mid control, have one person just take out Soul for you, and then try and contest late for Baron. That seems to be the only play Winthrop has, and Maryville has a plan against it.
Trying to contest late, trying to scale a little bit, right? We look at the things like the Scion can scale pretty much infinitely as a tank. Rumble scales very well in the damage department, right? But yeah, it's like you're staring down Victor with the engage potential of the Leona, Gnar, Udyr, and Maryville. The last couple engages have found very strong ones. So I don't even know if I favor Winthrop in the scaling department. It really will just come down to, can they find the play that they want? But again, from the narrative of Maryville, they are looking really good here in game number 3. They want to make this a series.
Absolutely. Hey, you know, when Winthrop had teamfight wins, it was off of a great Rumble ultimate in a corridor. I remember specifically one that happened topside around the Rift Herald fight that ended up happening. Like, fights like these worked out really well for Winthrop, and you have to kind of fish for it. So Maryville should be hyper aware of that, try and deny that. Don't give an inch to Winthrop, and then find yourself into a game 4.
I just want to give props right now to Maryville as an organization, as a school, as a program, taking care of their players like this. This is such a different look from Maryville than back with the old Niles roster, right? Where we see carry top laners, Gangplank, pretty much their mainstay in the top lane. Such a different identity, and it's such a different play style now, but still making it all the way to the finals, pushing Winthrop here, and still having a great chance of making this a long series. I mean, it's just impressive when you can do that for that long as an organization. Now looking onto Doxa. Can't find the engage quite yet. Maryville, though, with that flash down, yeah, they can look at Dragon.
Yeah, so here it is. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. Rumble Ultimate went to the wayside. Is not effective at all. So that's going to be no Rumble ulti, no flash for Doxa. They cannot fight for this Dragon. They have to give it up.
That equalizer might be back up. Might be by the time the Dragon spawns. And he also does back and get that Zonia. So double Zonias on the side of Winthrop. Got to track those in these fights. Maybe they can make some crazy plays happen here. And yeah, looking at the cooldown, I think the Frost Force will get an equalizer back. So it's really just a chunk, but they are just giving up mid control. They're not interested in mid priority, not interested in catching that top wave. Winthrop wants the track of this Dragon. They might just catch Chippies right now. Oh no, the top laner's down for Maryville. And that might just give Dragon over to Winthrop.
One window, and that was it. We were just waiting for that one mid wave for them to actually move and help Chippies, but he dies on that window, and now that's going to be Dragon over to Winthrop. It might be a Baron answer, but look at it.
Okay,
they want this fight
forward. Yeah, what are they going to do? Hard commit on the hybrids. Maryville with a Death Brush, not expecting the sign, just walk at them, but they were prepared in case Winthrop weren't staggered correctly. But Winthrop say, we'll take the Dragon, shove in these waves, and honestly, they're happy with that. They don't need to force the Baron right now.
Yeah, you know, just give him, especially in moments like these, you don't want to overreach. We're at a dangerous part of the game where one death, even with an advantage, it doesn't matter if you have control for 100% of the game up until this point. If you lose one kill, that's Baron position. And then, of course, you have to contest. You lose a fight because you've lost Baron position, and that's Baron.
You don't have Nautilus ult, Varus ult.
Exactly. You don't want that happening. So Winthrop, you know, recognizing that being able to pick those fights, take small wins. But Maryville, understand, okay, we lost one. Let's not have that happen again.
Now, you said, I agree with all the points you made, but the counterpoint is, come on, guys, just go for the play. It's a 5v4. You can win the team fight, right? But Winthrop not opting for that play after all, which means that Maryville will actually get the priority around this Baron instead, dropping some control wards, dropping some vision, trying to get deep into Winthrop's jungle and get up in their face. Doxa has to walk very far away. Keep in mind, still doesn't have that flash from earlier, but they didn't have to use Zonias for that play at Dragon because there was just that pick. And now they just get the vision, so it's just kind of the Baron vision dance at this point in the game.
Yeah, they're just kind of stalling out. It's on Maryville that's in position, but Silas is holding the wave here in the top lane, so he's able to farm out. There's really no rush here for Winthrop on you know, Baron being it's on Maryville whether they want to start it or not. So nothing's really happening here that's of interest.
Yeah, even though there was that pick and Dragon going over to Winthrop, that was just prolonging the game, right? It's still Maryville with a 5,000 gold lead. They're still on Dragon Soul. They still have all this prio, and they still have a 7-0 victor. Spyrax still just gigantic on this pick right now, and the team fights will decide everything. Maryville want to wait for it. Neither of these teams forcing anything, so we're kind of at a lull state right now, Raz. There's not a lot happening on the map. None of these small objectives are willing to fight for, and no one's actually committing to the Baron.
But Silas is getting stronger in the meantime. I mean, that's why he was holding wave top lane, has himself Cosmic Drive, Zonias. That's double Zonias on their side, so they can feel a little bit more confident in picking fights with the Udyr and not just expecting them to get CC unlocked to death. That's nice to see. But it kind of goes back to the setup. The setup matters insanely. Oh, Serkenji might get picked off.
We say that setup. Serkenji is a tank, but he's blown up at the start of the fight. The Equalizer's doing a lot of damage. Teleport coming in. Hybrid's got to be this front line now. Doxa, can he get in there? It's really not safe. Chippy is about to go Mega. Has the ultimate available, so Winthrop have to back off. They lost their support, and now Chippy's getting aggressive out of Doxa. Will not find the engage. Maryville don't need the engage. They still have 5. They still have the inside track of this Baron.
I don't think Maryville wants to start Baron yet, but we're going for another pick.
Chippies finds Frost Forest. Now they could probably do it. Now that the enemy jungler is down, what a find from the top laner of Maryville.
Yeah, TP just to see if they can get a fight off, but it's looking great here for Maryville. Maryville just wants to start a fight. I think they should.
Doxa's got an ult. Doxa's got an ult. He gets in there, but he does not get all members. He's going to get chunked down. Has to go golden very early in the fight. Saskio's doing what he can, but there's no one to peel for him. Doxa's out. Saskio's out. A double kill to Evan RL. Hybrids will fall as well. Everything going to Maryville.
There it is. St. Louis hopefuls. Maryville is awake. They are online in the series. Sir Kenji was just poking his head out, just making sure if there was any vision there, found a lot of members on the opposite side. And so Maryville did a great thing. They recognized that if they started Baron right there, half HP on Auto Orange, and also Chippy's ultimate was going to be timing out. Right here, another opportunity, nets the jungler, and then you have it all.
Beautifully done by Chippy's. Spyrax with the range of the Victor can also follow up easily to give that last bit of damage that they needed to get that pick right there. And that was through Frost Forest Zonia's as well. Still, I guess he still has it. He was chain CC'd through that, but yeah, Maryville with a commanding lead right now. It's looking like they can wrap this game up shortly, Raz. They have so much control over this dragon, which will be spawning in 30 seconds. That is the Mountain Soul. And just look at their items that they got. That's 4 items on Evan RL. Yep. That's 4 items on Spyrax. There's just nothing that Winthrop can hope for here, except for a miracle.
Also, a summoner spell advantage, where flashes across the board except for Auto Orange are there for Maryville. Meanwhile, your carries in Doxa and Sasko do not have this for the dragon that's coming up right now. So really difficult fight, but Winthrop need a miracle here.
Hybrid's looking to be the front line. Look at Chippy's really long flank right now, and his Narbar is getting really high. If Winthrop don't realize that Chippy's is right here, he could go for the insane flank. Gets onto Saskio and Frost Force. There's chain CC'd. Evan RL dives onto the backline, goes golden, but the rest of his team can carry the rest of the fight. Maybe not. Doxa steals an R ultimate. Can Doxa turn it around? He's gotten onto Auto Orange, but yeah, the rest of the team is dead. Maryville University are too strong. They got too much gold. They will win another team fight, and they will take Dragon Soul.
They're also eyeing the inhibitor as well. That's going to be Dragon Soul, Mountain Dragon as well. And then, of course, huge gold going to be coming into their pockets off these turrets. Maryville rejuvenated. It's nice to see it because we have a series on our hands.
Absolutely. They were upset coming into this one. I was saying in the between games there, Raz, at Maryville, this is not the look that we expected for them. Coaching staff, everybody's going to say, all right, guys, reset, refresh, new game, new side of the map, and this is really favoring them this time around. Let's take another look at this flank from Chippy's.
Chippy's is a mental nirvana right there. Of course, having rough moments throughout the game, but this was huge for his team. He was able to just throw the back side of the team fight, the carries, away from the front line, and they just burn straight through hybrids. So great team fight overall, and great flanks coming in from Chippy's.
Again, Doxa focuses down Evan RL, but look at this. Spyrax 907 on the Victor was pretty much untouched throughout that entire fight. This is not a single damage threat composition that Maryville have drafted. If anything, Evan RL is just a distraction at this point. Spyrax is the true carry here, and Doxa, he's able to take down one, but never the other, and that's got to be frustrating for Winthrop. But Maryville fans in the chat right now feeling a lot better about the way this series is starting to swing here, because they just got to put the final nails in the coffin of Winthrop's base. Ox is walking very far forward. He might get spotted out here. Might get engaged on, but Hybrid's still that tanky frontliner. Winthrop are just grouping up.
Yeah, they're working as a unit to kind of block what they're trying to do top lane. But remember, there's also a huge mid wave coming through that's being escorted from Chippy's. So they have to really deal with that.
No, maybe they find the engage. Equalizer down. Auto Orange chunked out. It's not enough. Not nearly enough. It's only a fourth of the health bar of the Udyr with 2 ultimates used. Winthrop definitely wanted more there. But how much longer can they hold out for here? Maryville hoping to end it right now. Chippy's getting close to Mega. They're taking down another inhibitor turret. No turret to fight for now from Winthrop. Dox is very far forward. He has the Mega Gnar ultimate himself. But that's the second inhib falling.
One Scion comes back from base, the fight's starting. Doxa has Gnar ultimate. He's not going to have that for a while.
Sir Kenji thought that it was starting, but his team might not have been ready. He's already out of the fight. Frost Forest has to flash away and go golden just to stay alive, but it's still a 4v5 under the Nexus turrets, but the Nexus turrets just aren't doing enough. A double kill to Evan RL. Maryville University are going to fight back in game 2. Give us a series. A huge engage by Doxa, but it's just not enough. Too much gold, too much power to Maryville University. They will take down these Nexus turrets. They win the team fight, and they will bring us to a game number 4. Maryville University, the Kings are not out yet. They won a series, and they're giving it to us.
They strike back. This is when Maryville started to just rejuvenate, right? A lot of people, it was getting too Winthrop favored in the chat. Too many people were doubting Maryville, and so the copiums turned into hopium. They're ready to run it with a reverse sweep.
Everybody's putting their channel points on Winthrop, like, oh, easy 3-0 after those first two games. Maryville's just playing the long game, man. They're like, all right, we're going to mine some of those for ourselves here. Go for the long con. Looking to reverse sweep here. They got to win 2 more, but that was a statement game for a Game 3. When you're down 2-0 in a series like that, and you just come out and smack your opponents, Winthrop looked like they had so few answers other than dive chippies over and over again, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, people talk about momentum in a series. What it ultimately means is that the players now know what they're doing is working. You know, positive reinforcement always helps. When you're losing, you're like, damn, there's so many holes in this ship that we need to fix. What really is going to work for us to get a win? But in this case, Maryville were just winning straight through team fights. So expect going back towards that. Camille, beginning of the series, probably not going to see that anymore. Just go straight towards a team fight centric composition. Chippies, although he was playing, having some weak moments and was playing on weak side, had huge team fight moments that is going to carry through into the next game.
The Kings of Collegiate feeling revitalized after that win, Raz. They dig in deep and take game number 3. We're going to send it to a short break before the Safe Farm analyst brings us back and digs in with them to break down what exactly happened in that game, what the implications are for the rest of the series. You will not want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the 2021 College League of Legends Championship. Maryville fans, stand tall. You ain't out of this yet. MU and the rest of the squad made sure to pull through with the victory so that they push this series forward. And I don't think we could expect anything less of our reigning champions. We did get a little bit of a flip up this time, though. The first time that we had a reversal of the side selection and Alorum a clear priority to get the jungler on MU's side in a comfortable position.
It's Udyr Kingdom. I knew it. It was just all you had to do was pick blue side and pick Udyr. He's looked really, really good this series. And when you have these kind of scrappy games, what's better than having the very, very simple character of Udyr? You don't have to aim it. You could play with your eyes closed. You got your hand on the mouse. And it's so easy to just get up there, stun, and get your job done. I'm so happy that they put the priority on this because Odd Orange has looked a little shaky on some of the other picks. But on the Udyr, he's looking fine.
It's funny you describe it that way. One of my favorite segments from the LCS this year was the Azael super complicated breakdown of what made Udyr so strong, you know, getting that flash and the slap in that right sequence. But there is a lot of power behind the pick, especially when operated by the junglers that know how to do so. And TJ, if we're looking at Maryville trying to put themselves in that light that people know they can be in, they were making some much more proactive plays early.
Yeah, we saw that they were able to be a little bit more on comfort, it looked like, where, again, Shady is being able to make really aggressive plays, they commit flashes forward, and they do end up catching the Rumble out in their jungle, which ends up being a dive and a double kill for Evan. This really sets him up for success because, as we saw in the previous game, Evan got really fed. He was able to have different play opportunities, but this time they were able to follow through with it a little bit better. And I think that came from Winthrop's maybe a little lack of comfort on certain champions and relatively good execution from Maryville.
Maryville, maybe, as you're saying, taking advantage of a little bit of that lack of comfort on the other side. As you noted, TJ, going into this was the first time we saw Winthrop on the red side, as they have preferred blue side going through. But continuing on what MU brought through as a strength, bringing that team play together, it felt like their coordination, Alorum, was much more collected this time around to really take control of the plays.
Yeah, throughout this game, Maryville had just been getting advantage after advantage for most of these team fights, and it allowed them to control the vision on the top side once Baron spawned, and they were able to get these great baits. When someone was face checked, they would just one-shot them and back up, as we could see for this fight. They get the teleport, and then they just do it again. Once everything rests, they do it one more time. They go to the person that's coming up in front in the face check, and they go back onto the Baron. And due to the advantage in numbers that they have, it makes doing the Baron and going for one more fight very easy for them. Odd Orange secures the smite with no jungler around, and afterward they clean up everyone else. This was a very easy to execute composition, and I'm glad that they played it correctly because once they get ahead, it's very difficult for Winthrop to actually face check these bushes.
Now, one thing I'd like to note on that is I'd love to see Saskio play maybe something a little bit different than the Varus. It hasn't looked that strong, and now that Evan's had 2 games in a row on the Kai'Sa where he's doing pretty well, I'd like to see a little bit of a switch up. Maybe it turns into a Varus ban instead of a Varus takeaway. But something should probably change down there because he has not had the impact that he should have in this type of game.
Speaking about that a bit further, as we know that Winthrop have elected to go back over to blue side, and when we're talking about a player like Saskio, we've seen him so effective on picks like the Jinx, for instance, that we know for him to pilot so well. Alorum, if you're looking at kind of what you want to see differently here, do you think that is the key, maybe starting to index into him continually a bit more to get him on some comfortable picks, or is maybe your concern elsewhere?
I think my concern's elsewhere because a lot of the times in these in this series for the bot lane, the AD carries really aren't that big into the play. It's usually up to the supports and the junglers on how the play ends up. I do think that Varus is a strong priority pick right now. He's very good with the CC ultimate. That being said, they're just trading AD carries and trading farm while the supports make the plays. So what I want to see is who's going to get the Nautilus. Are they going to give Sir Kenji back the Nautilus? Is he on blue side? Are they going to give up Gwen again? I doubt it because even Maryville banned Gwen on blue side themselves. So we'll have to see what they prioritize. And in my opinion, the biggest pick on my mind right now is Udyr. Are they going to give away the Udyr on blue side? We've seen it first pick before, or are they just going to ban it?
Speaking a little more on that Nautilus, Sir Kenji played so many games of it yesterday, they even B1'd it, which is completely unheard of in the current meta. So I'm wondering, now that Winthrop's on blue side again, are they going to B1 that Nautilus and really roam around and play the Nautilus gambit? Or will they go back to maybe an Udyr takeaway or even the Gwen?
There were remarks that we heard about his play on the Nautilus, not just in piloting a champion that has that ability to really get those engages going, but from a leadership perspective and leading into those fights and that heavy decision making. We'll have to keep watching on in the series to see who ends up stepping forward in the next game, because as you know, Maryville are starting to show signs of life to continue pushing through to defend their championship title here at the College League of Legends Championship. But I can't wait to see if Winthrop are going to respond hard in game number 4. We'll see you right after this.
I didn't order a pizza.
I know, but that Parker promo saved me so much in my insurance. I brought you a little something special.
Parker, State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
You're the man, man.
And you want the real deal? Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.